EduTap and welcome to the lecture 8 of Soil and Water Chemistry, Soil and Water Conservation. In this particular class, we will discuss about the nutrient deficiency. Okay, so in earlier lecture we have talked about the soil and water conservation and what kind of soil is there. In this lecture we will talk about what kind of nutrient deficiencies are there due to the lack of nutrient in the soil. Okay, so let's start our lecture. So before that, do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Telegram channel too for the PDF of the video. Okay, so first of all we will talk about the timetable. So as you can see, today we are discussing nutrient deficiency and this is your lecture timetable. Okay, so those of you who are new here, if you want to understand these topics, you can check our previous video, and today we will be discussing nutrient deficiency. This particular timetable is curated based on the previous year question that we have studied. Okay, so again this series, although this is short series, this is very compact series which is targeting your NABARD examination. Okay, so since this is out of the way, now we will discuss about the practice question that we have given. Hello Nilesh, so the question was, which of the following soil has the highest available water holding capacity? Your options were sandy, clayey, sandy loam, or silt loam, or sandy silt. Okay, Sekar, good morning. Good afternoon. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me quickly discuss what this topic we are talking about. So we all know there are three kind of primary soil particles, that are clay, sand and your silt. So as we go from clay to silt and silt to sand, clay has finest particle or the smallest particle. That's why clay have best water holding capacity. So we are here talking about water holding capacity of the soil. That means how much soil can be held by the water. Okay, so clay has the most water holding capacity. Then there is silt. As the silt particle are much bigger than clay, silt has moderate water holding capacity comparing to the clay. Then there is your sand particles, and sand particles have biggest size of the soil. That's why they have the least soil water holding capacity. So sandy kind of soil has least water holding capacity. So see, sand, silt and sand. Only option B contain the clay loam. It means it contains the mix of clay soil and loam particles. So that's why the correct answer will be the clay loam. Also anonymous user Yogesh, Shreya, Vaishali, Deepika and Nisharika has given the correct answer in the last video. Okay, so that was the now we have discussed the previous year question that was in NABARD Grade A 2019, and that was also your homework question. So let's start today's topic now. So first of all, let's have a quick look at the PYQ. As we do in the all of our video, what we do, we take a look at the PYQ, then we understand what kind of topic are important from the topic we are discussing, and then we further discuss the topic. So if anybody wants to attempt the question, can answer right now. So question was internal necrosis in mango and also internal necrosis in mango. First is this, and then hen and chicken disorder in grapes is due to deficiency of which of the following nutrient? Your options were potassium, chlorine, boron, sulfur and calcium. So what are these nutrition? Okay, what are these deficiency we are talking about? What is this chicken hen and why we are discussing this in agriculture? That we will all talk. Okay, so some people have attempted the question, and Puneet and Nilesh said boron. So we will know that if they are right. Okay, once we discuss this topic, and I want all of you who are joining us to answer the question once we have discussed the topic. So let's start our class now. So first of all, see why we need soil. Why in agriculture soil is important? See, because your soil is a medium where you will plant your seed and plant will grow from there. Okay, what soil do to the plant? It provide nutrient. Okay, water holding capacity as we had discussed. So water will be provided to the plant by the particularly soil, and all the available nutrient that soil required. Also, it also prevent diseases and all things like that. Okay, so basically it's a medium that will provide all the essential nutrient to the plant, all the essential components that are important for plant to live, that will be delivered. Okay, now what happened? What soil has nutrient or no nutrient? Okay, so that factor become very important for us. So in this case we will study that soil fertility is a factor, And the other thing is soil productivity. Now what is the difference between these two? Aren't they sound same? So they should be same, na? But that doesn't happen. See what happened, as I have told you, your soil, what your soil do? Your soil provide nutrient to your plant. Okay, now we know that the nutrient are naturally occurring in the soil. Okay, so suppose this is the soil and there are nutrients. So this nutrient efficiency, what nutrient availability is there for the plant in the soil naturally, that is your soil fertility. Okay, कि आपके plant जो भी soil है park में available, garden में available, that soil, if it can support our plant, okay, basic things, if it can support our plant can grow in it, what kind of pH it has, or the inert already available, you know, internal properties of soil, that is your soil fertility. So naturally occurring both physical and chemical property, okay, pH and all, texture and all, that all comes in the soil fertility. So we all know what we say, usually what we say is sandy soil or the desert soil that we have is not as much as fertile as, not as much as fertile comparing to alluvial soil. So this fertility that we are talking about, what is this? That let's discuss. Okay, so this fertility is how much nutrient the soil has, that becomes soil fertility. Now talking to the plant productivity. So suppose you have alluvial soil, I give you alluvial soil and I give you a seed. I say, okay, see, alluvial soil is the most soil with the most soil fertility or the best soil for the plant. So can you grow the seed? There are other factors that come into account when you are talking about the soil productivity. What kind of factor, and why can't a plant grow when the soil is fertile? See, there can be other factors. Suppose you are I have given you a soil that has moderate kind of water holding capacity but very good nutrition, and you are growing a plant that require a lot of water. So of course your plant productivity will be low. And the other thing is, you are not taking good care of the plant, so there can be some diseases. So one way or other, this all factors are affecting your plant. There can be too high temperature where you are growing the plant. Okay, too much evaporation is there, you are not managing your plant. So there can be a lot of factors that can affect the soil fertility. And suppose there is a land and I said, okay, I need 2 tons per hectare of, that is the potential of my farm. Okay, the nutrient availability, other things, that say that 2 hectares should be the productivity. But when you grow the plant and you know some kind of disease outbreak is there, you are not doing proper intercropping and other things, agriculture practices are not taken care into. So what will happen in that case? The productivity will not be 2 tons, suppose it will be 1 ton only. So half the productivity it is. So now from the understatement, let's easily discuss and quickly in a layman language, those of you without any agriculture background, those who can understand. So how much your soil can give, or how much your field can give to the plant, that is your soil fertility. And actually how much your plant grow in the particular soil, that is your soil productivity. Now if we define it, how we will define it? How we will define it simply. So we will say that soil fertility is capacity of soil to supply nutrient to the available nutrient. That's why we say soil fertility becomes the function of soil status of the soil, nutrient status of the soil. That means how much nutrients are there in the soil that affect the soil fertility. Okay, this one factor is enough for the soil fertility. Now we are moving to the soil productivity. Soil productivity is the crop producing capacity of the soil. So soil productivity is function of, see, soil fertility should be there. If your soil is, you know, at the beginning your soil is bad, you can't go with the good productivity. Okay, then management, how you have managed, how the disease outbreak we have talked about, what kind of agriculture measure you have taken. कि आपने suppose आपने क्या कर रखा है, only one crop is there and already nutrient exhausted. So of course this is bad management. अब आपने क्या कर रखा है, you have grown a crop and you have done intercropping. So crop A is getting benefited by crop B. So in this case, okay, productivity will be higher. So soil fertility, then we are talking about management and also the climate. Suppose your field is under rain-fed condition. So monsoon की condition क्या है, that affect your soil. Temperature कितना है, optimum temperature है कि नहीं है, that all affect your soil productivity. So I think soil fertility and soil productivity is clear. If anybody has any doubt, do let me know in the comment. I'll re-explain it. And if it is clear, do let me know that in the comment too. Okay. So by the factor we have discussed, we can say one thing, and that thing is, if your soil is productive, you can naturally say your soil is fertile. But you can't say that, okay, my soil is fertile, that means my soil is also productive. So all the productive soil are fertile, but all the fertile soil may not be productive. Okay, now let's move to the next factor that is very important. Now we will move to the nutrient essentiality and plant nutrient that are essential for our plant. So when we talk about essential, okay, this means very important. When we say essential nutrient for us, this work is essential, it means कि भाई ये बहुत important है, that is our priority. So when we talk about essential nutrient or the mineral nutrient in the plant, we are saying that what happens, see, there are some nutrients that plant can't get by itself. Okay, the plant body can't make them. So these nutrients you need to add from outside, or plant need to take from the outside. Now where it can take it from, as we have talked, soil, also atmosphere. So there can be many means. Water that we are supplying. So these can be the means where plant can take the nutrient. So how we can say what nutrient is important and what nutrient is not important for the plant? That we can say there are three conditions for that we call criteria for essentiality. And these criteria are, if first of all, let's say we are talking about nutrient A, and I want to know if my nutrient is essential or not. How I can know that? First of all, if there is a deficiency of A, it means I have not provided nutrient A that in our field. What will happen? It will result in the complete life cycle of the plant. It means at some stage plant will die, or plant, some kind of failure will be there while plant is trying to complete its life cycle. Then the deficiency of nutrient A that we are talking about can only be corrected by nutrient A. It's not like if I am talking about nutrient A, कि भाई कमी है तो plant is getting affected, but I added nutrient B, so plant is okay. That doesn't mean कि A is essential, because B is replacing it. Okay, if you are replaced by anything, that means you are not that much essential. So what happens? If A is absent in my field, first of all, the plant will not be able to complete its life cycle, and only if I add A, this plant will be able to complete its life cycle, or the problem that is occurring due to lack of A will go away. Okay, then third is plant, that A element that I am talking about should directly affect the activity of the plant. What kind of activity? The metabolism, okay, nutrient, how plant is growth, that there can be some kind of effect. It's not like, okay, मैंने A दिया नहीं and A is doing nothing, so there is no change if A is not there. इस केस में क्या होगा? A is not essential. So there should be three check while we are checking about the essentiality of the nutrient. So अब हमने देख लिया, okay, suppose this nutrient A, it clear all these three criteria. So what will happen? These 16 or 17 nutrients are there that are our essential nutrients. So these nutrients are divided into macronutrients. Basically, first of all, major nutrients and your minor nutrients. So first of all, we will discuss these two major nutrients. So your major nutrients, as the name suggests, are required in higher quantity. Okay, suppose these are major, as the name suggests, साफ नाम से लग रहा है major भाई ज़्यादा चाहिए, तो ज़्यादा चाहिए जो nutrient, that are your macronutrient and basic nutrient. Okay, these two form major nutrients. And ये क्या है? First of all, talking about the basic nutrient, these are the nutrients that plant get from either atmosphere or the water that we have discussed. Okay, so they form 96% of the dry matter that plant have. So we all know these are CHO, that is your carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, carbohydrates you have heard about, these all are formed in plant. So CHO, it becomes the major portion. Okay, this is the most important nutrient for the plant, and these are, that's why called basic nutrients. सबसे important है ये हमारे. Then moving to the next is macronutrients. Again, macro is big, that is required in a big amount. So your macro are required by the plant more than 1 ppm in concentration. Okay, whatever nutrients that are needed by plant, suppose 1.2, 2, 3, anything bigger than 1, will be called as macronutrient. These macronutrient are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Then there is calcium, magnesium and sulfur. See, these nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, these are also called your primary nutrients. Why primary nutrients? Because they are again required in high quantity comparing to the other three, that are your calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and that's why these are called secondary amount. So these are required in higher quantity, that's why they are primary nutrient or primary macronutrient, and these are required in the moderate quantity, that is calcium, magnesium, aluminium. These are required, sulfur, that are required in the moderate quantity, and that's why they are called secondary nutrient. I hope that is clear. Okay, so now moving to the micronutrient. What are micronutrient? Again, micro refers to anything small. आपके microorganism हो गया, very small organism. So similarly, micronutrient that are required in the quantity less than 1 ppm. So just remember 1 ppm. इससे ज़्यादा चाहिए तो हो जाएंगे macro, इससे कम चाहिए तो हो जाएंगे micro. So all you have to remember is 1 ppm. Okay, that will be enough. Now, what are the micronutrients that are planted? These are boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum and zinc. So these are your micronutrients. Okay, now beside these three, there are some nutrients that you add to the plant. So why you added when they are not essential? See, they boost or stimulate your plant growth. Okay, they are helpful to plant growth, or they help your plant to resist some kind of disease, and these nutrient becomes your beneficial nutrient. These nutrients, you can say selenium, silicon, cobalt, sodium, that all we add in the plant because they are beneficial and important for the growth of the plant. Sometimes they can be essential for one plant and not very important for the other plant too. Okay, now that aside, now quickly summarize it. So what we study is all given in this one slide. So if you are going for exam and you don't have time, just take a quick look at this particular slide, and you will have clear picture of the nutrient that we are discussing. So we are talking about essential nutrient, and three conditions we have discussed. What were these three conditions? First of all, it should be affecting the plant life cycle. Okay, plant should not be able to complete the life cycle. Then only this particular nutrient should be able to replace itself. Then third, that it should affect the metabolism of the plant or the life cycle of the plant. Now that's clear, and that conditions are not very important for your exam, but you should have a clear picture why some nutrients are essential and why some nutrients are not essential. What are the conditions for that? So that is clear. Okay, now moving to the basic nutrient. Basic nutrient we say CHO, plant take from air and water, and macronutrient, that are NPK, calcium, magnesium, sulfur. NPK is your primary macronutrient, as we all know, and secondary macronutrient is calcium, magnesium and sulfur. These two make your major group. Okay, now moving to the micronutrient that are required in the quantity less than 1 ppm, and these are your iron, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, molybdenum, chlorine and nickel. Okay, so if you don't have time, again just take a quick look at this particular slide, you will have all clarity. Okay, now let's move to the main part of this nutrient, and what is the other important topic from the exam point of view, and that is your nutrient deficiency. The essential nutrient that we have discussed, if they are not provided in enough quantity in the plant, what will happen? Okay, so there can be two conditions कि भाई है ही नहीं nutrient, and there's the other condition is it is present but it is not enough for the plant. So we will discuss about these conditions and what will happen if nutrients are deficient in the plant. So first of all, let's discuss about nitrogen, NPK, that we said, very important. So NPK, first of all, let's move to nitrogen. So what you have to remember there, see, the deficiency I am telling you, you can forget, that's not very important. But if there is a particular disease in the plant that is mentioned, that becomes very important for your examination. Nobody will ask uniform yellowing is caused by what kind of nutrient, but they can ask you that buttoning is in cauliflower is responsible who is responsible for the buttoning of the cauliflower. So that kind of question can come. So again, focus on the crop particular disease. Okay, so let's move to nitrogen. First of all, uniform yellowing of the older leaves, including grain, will be there. Then important, you can see buttoning. It means button kind of structure will become of the cauliflower. What happened? Cauliflower usually is a beautiful flower-like structure, but in these cases, there are many button-like structures are there. That's why quite easy. We called it buttoning of cauliflower. Then what will happen if it is present in excess? Okay, there is too much nitrogen. So what will happen? First of all, plant will become dark green in color. Okay, and blossom abortion and lack of the fruit will set to occur due to excess amount of nitrogen. So always provide the plant nutrient in an optimum range. इसलिए हम बोलते हैं ना कि don't use too much urea. Okay, it can burn the plant. So that kind of condition we are talking about when we are talking about the excess amount of nitrogen. So I think that is clear. Now let's move to the phosphorus and P. Okay, that is other important primary nutrient that we are talking about. So again, deficiency, slow and stunted growth. Okay, older leaf will have purple coloration. Again, you can remember this point. Okay, purple coloration you can remember. The premature leaving will fall. That is common. That is not. So what the other important thing is sickle leaf disease will occur due to the deficiency of phosphorus. That you should remember. Okay. Then excess, what will happen? Higher P may interfere with the normal calcium nutrition. Typically calcium deficiency symptom will occur. So I'll explain what we are talking about here. See your phosphorus, what it will happen done. So this phosphorus will affect the osmoregularity of the plant. What is osmoregularity? See, your plant need a balance of ions too. Okay, how much negative positive should be there in the plant. So I am explaining it in a layman language so everybody can understand. So what this phosphorus will do? This phosphorus will affect this all, and due to which the plant will show nutrient deficiency of calcium. Now what are the nutrient deficiency of calcium? Just wait a little, we will discuss it, but for now we will clear the phosphorus. If I discuss it here, it will cause confusion. Okay, but if phosphorus is in excess, it will show symptom of calcium deficiency. Okay, because it's affecting the osmoregulation of the plant. Then moving to the potassium and P, we discussed. Moving to the potassium now, that is K. So deficiency, yellowing start at the tip. So at tip yellowing will start. At the margin of the lower leaf, extend to the center of the leaf, scorching and burning margin of the bottom leaf. You can see it seems like somebody burned the leaf. So this kind of thing will happen only in the case of potassium. Then what will happen if it is in excess? Again, typically magnesium calcium deficiency symptoms will be there. In this case, magnesium and calcium deficiency is shown in case of excess amount of potassium. Again, if you don't want to remember the excess amount, that is okay. But what is important for your NABARD examination, the particularly specific disease for the plant, that is very important. Okay, and that is why it is also bolded here. Okay, see this, then this buttoning of cauliflower is there. So in these two, this is important, and for that you can remember scorching and burning at the margin is present. Okay, now let's move to the other nutrients that are important. So first of all, let's see healthy plant. Phosphorus, a purple coloration, as I have told you, will be happening, and potassium, you can see the burn seem like the ends seem like they are burning. For nitrogen, you should only remember the buttoning of cauliflower is happening. Okay, moving to the next secondary nutrient that are important. So talking about calcium. So calcium, you can see terminal 1/3 chlorotic. So whatever terminal bird means, suppose this is your leaf. Sorry, this is your plant. So the bird, end of the bird, terminal of the bird. Okay, this is your flower bird, suppose, or plant bird. So what happened? This bud, what will happen? It will become chlorotic. It will become yellow kind of. Okay, and 1/3 of it will go downward. So this, see, this is your bird, beautiful bird. What will happen? First of all, it will become chlorotic. How much part? 1/3 of it will become chlorotic. Then it will also move a little downward. So it will form a hook-like structure. Okay, in the case of calcium deficiency. Then important thing again, it will cause blossom and rot in tomato and bay, and tip hooking in the cauliflower. So these two, you can see tip hooking is happening. The end leaf of the cauliflower, they are turning in and looking like hooks. Okay, this kind of structure is forming. Then and bird is getting affected in tomato and bay. Then what will happen? They are in excess. Again, K deficiency. See, calcium is 2 positive, K is positive in the ion concentration. So you will see this positive will affect the positive. So what will happen? If too much calcium is there, show the symptoms of potassium deficiency. Okay. And you will see also in magnesium what happened. Again, first of all we will talk about deficiency. So older leaves show intervenal chlorosis. What is intervenal chlorosis? See, these are your vein, and in between of these veins, see, 2 veins are there, and iske beech mein chlorosis will happen. It will become dry, it will become yellow. Okay, So that will happen, and it will also, magnesium again very important for your chlorophyll. So if magnesium deficiency is there, no way your chlorophyll formation can be good. So the most important thing again in magnesium is sand-drawn disease of tobacco is caused. Please guys do remember this plant specific disease we are talking about, very important for your NABARD examination. Okay, if you have time, take a pen and just note down the disease that are plant specific. Okay. Now then, talking about the axis, what will happen? See, again this is magnesium, Mg2 positive is there, so it will show the sign of calcium or potassium deficiency. Okay, now let's move to sulfur. So in sulfur again deficiency occur, downward cupping of the tobacco leaves and tea. First important thing, so downward cupping, you can see a cup like structure is forming and its head is toward the earth. Okay, so this kind of structure will be formed in this case. Now talking about the other thing, what will happen in cabbage, there will be reddening, as you can see, a purple or red kind of structure will be there at the upper part and the lower part of the leaf. Now talking about the third thing that will happen in rapeseed, leaves are cupped inward. So if you are talking about tobacco leaf, they will be tobacco and leaf, they will be downward. If you are talking about rapeseed, the plants will cup upward. So cup like structure will form. In tobacco tea it will be like that, in rapeseed it will be like that. Then what will happen if axis of sulfur is present, premature senescence of leaf may occur. So leaf will die before their time will have arrived. Okay, this will happen in case of sulfur. So I think major nutrient we have discussed. So everything is clear. What is important from the nutrient for the disease deficiency and what we should remember. So if anybody has any doubt, do let me know in the chat. If you want me to explain something other, again, do let me know in the chat. Okay, I'll wait for a while, and if everything is clear, do let me know that too, okay, so that I can move. I'll wait. Okay, Nilesh say okay, all clear, Sekar say. So I think everybody is clear on these things. Now let's move to our micronutrient. So most important nutrient that we'll have to know. Okay, Mohammed also said all clear, very good. So let's discuss boron. Again, very important for your NABARD examination. You will see many questions from boron. Okay, it can also come again. So when we are talking about deficiency of boron, what can happen? Yellowing and chlorosis will happen at the terminal bud, and whip-like structure. Okay, whip, rusty type of structure will be formed. Whip-like structure will be formed, and of course due to this, what will happen? The terminal bud. Terminal bud, if anybody again don't know, see, this is your bud. Suppose kali that we say, na, that is your bud, and terminal means this end of the bud. Okay, so this will die, chlorosis will happen, and this will die, and first of all it will become whip-like. Okay, rassi jaisa ban jayega, it will get long and it will dry and it will form whip-like structure. So this is now out of the way. Now let's discuss the important thing that happened due to the boron deficiency. That is important for your NABARD examination. So first of all, internal necrosis of amla and mango. See, this is first one. So what happened? From outside your amla seemed like, okay, good amla, you have brought it home. Okay, now you are ready to eat. Once you cut it open, what will happen? It is rotten from the inside. And that happened due to the deficiency of boron. Same happens in mango too. Okay, in internal necrosis in both amla and mango happens. Then the other thing happened that remember, hen and chicken disorder in grape. Hen and chicken disorder. See, some have become hen and some are in the chicken stage. Okay, some grapes have taken the big size and some are small. So they seem like hen and chicken, different pair. Okay, so even in a group or even in a batch, the size of the grape is not uniform. Some grapes are big, some grapes are small, some will ripe, some will start rotting, and some will not be mature. So again, you will get bad price for this proper problem, and solution is of that to add boron. Okay, so I think hen and chicken is clear. Why we are discussing hen and chicken in agriculture? This is the reason. Okay, now moving to the heart rot in sugar beet. Again, what will happen? See, this is your sugar beet and one part start rotting and it will form heart-like structure in between. Okay, this is these stages. Then browning of hollow stem of cauliflower. So first of all, hollow stem will be there, and inside it there will be browning. This will again happen due to the deficiency of boron. Then top sickness of tobacco. Top sickness, it means, see, there is a terminal bud. What happen? It die off. It grow and it die off, and it is covered by the leaf around it. So whatever leaf around it, since your bud has died, the leaf around it covers it. So that is your top sickness of tobacco. Okay, top, or it means apical terminal bud of your tobacco, it burns off. Then dieback of apple. See, this is your apple. It doesn't seem like apple, I know, and it is due to the case of boron deficiency. Either boron is absent or it is not present in the optimum of quantity. So because of which dieback of apple happens. Then fruit cracking of tomato. It means, see, many times we see tomato like that has a crack or the structure like that. That is the fruit cracking. Crack like structure is fruit cracking of tomato. Okay, so that's why this happened due to the deficiency of again boron. Okay, I think that is the most common thing that we have seen. Then what happens in case of citrus fruit? Hard fruit happens. Sometimes, you open the fruit and it doesn't seem like it has moisture when we are talking about lemon, orange, mosmi. So that also happened due to deficiency of boron. Then what happened? That is all it is in it is in lacking amount, or it is not enough. What happened in case of excess of boron? Leaf tip and the margin will turn brown and die. This is your leaf. So what will happen? The tip or the margin itself. So those of you who don't know what is tip, what is margin, when we are talking about leaf, this is tip, and the sides of the leaf are margin. So they become brown and they die. Okay, give me few moment. So just give me a few minutes, the background noise will be lowered. So okay, quickly let's take a look at the boron. Again, very important. So we will quickly discuss the crop specific disease of the boron that is caused by the deficiency. Okay, so internal necrosis in what? Amla and mango. Then hen and chicken disorder in grape. Then heart rot in sugar beet. Browning of hollow stem of cauliflower. If anybody want to know what it looks like, it's all given on that side. Okay. Then top sickness of tobacco, dieback of apple, and fruit cracking of tomato, hard fruit of citrus. So that all happened due to deficiency of boron. Again, this part is very important for your NABARD examination. Now let's move to the other nutrient deficiency that is caused by chlorine. For chlorine, you can see what happened. Younger leaves will be chlorotic and the plant will easily wilt. So it affects the younger leaf. First of all, they will easily wilt. So in case of weed, we are talking about something interesting happen. And what is that? That deficiency of chlorine, see, it make plant prone for what? For the infestation. Okay, so any kind of pest infestation, disease infestation can be there when there is not chlorine available in the case of your wheat. Okay, it's not directly affecting the weed, but it is also adding the case of or making the plant increasingly prone to infestation of both disease and the pest. Then excess, what will happen? Premature yellowing of the lower leaf with the burning of the leaf margin and tip. Okay, your tip, again I have told you, this is leaf, this is tip, and the sides are margin, and they will start a burning like structure. That is the case of when we are talking about excess of any kind of fertilizer or nutrient, mostly burning case kind of thing will happen. Okay, now let's move to the copper. So what will happen in case of copper? Deficiency, leaf including veins become yellow, tending toward the whiteness. So first of all, if this is your plant and these are the veins, so what will happen? These veins will either become yellow and slowly they start growing or grow white. Okay, then occurrence of marginal leaf burning. Again, these margins seem like they are burning, and this is again important for your NABARD examination. Limb dieback of shoots in the young plant of citrus happen. Now what is this limb? Do plant have limb? Yes, we are talking about the branches of the plant. So what will happen? These branches, they will start dying. Browning will happen and they will start drying. due to which we call it a limb dieback shoot of the citrus plant. Citrus, what are your citrus plant? Khatte, citrus, okay. So that means lemon or your oranges or mosmi we talk about, these are your citrus fruit, okay. So that happened, what happened if the copper is in excess? So Fe deficiency is there. Fe is your iron. So iron deficiency may be induced and slow growth will be there, roots will be stunted. Then the other disorder that can happen, that is gummosis. Okay, you know gum-like structure sometimes come in the plant, that can appear. So that is called gummosis or xanthomania of the disease of the citrus will happen. Okay, these two also happens, but these are again not important for your exam. What's important for your exam is limb dieback in the case of citrus plant. If you can remember from whole copper nutrient deficiency, just remember this particular limb dieback in the citrus fruits. Okay, this point is very important. Now let's move to the remaining nutrients that are first of all are iron. So talking about iron, Fe. So vein remain green and the leaf portion turn yellow tending toward whiteness. Again similar case of magnesium that we talked about. Copper that we talked about. So leaf bleaching of sugarcane and ivory white of paddy, that is important for your NABARD examination. What does it mean? See, when we are talking about bleaching of anything, that means the color of the leaf is turning toward the white side. Okay, and it seems like somebody has bleached the leaf. So as you can see in the picture, this leaf doesn't seem so green. This leaf is green, but this leaf seems like light green colored, okay, or some bleach kind of leaf. That happens due to the deficiency of the iron. Then again we are talking about paddy, ivory white. It means white looking plants are caused in the case of paddy. What will happen if iron is in excess? So browsing of leaf with tiny brown spot. So in leaf, tiny brown spot will be occur. A typical symptom frequently occurring in the rice. So in rice we see, you know, we have talked about in the type of rice there is a kind of soil that is red soil, and it seen red. Why? Due to excess of iron. So what will happen if in red soil you started or try to grow rice? Red soil is red because of too much iron. And what will happen in this similar soil, if you try to grow rice, its leaf will seem like there are brown spotting, and that occur frequently in rice, and this is due to the excess of iron, not deficiency, again excess of iron. Okay, now moving to molybdenum. So molybdenum, older and middle leaf will become chlorotic first. Occurrence of typical intervenal chlorosis. What is intervenal chlorosis? See, these are your veins, and in between them, what will happen? Browning will happen in between them, and that's why this will be called typical intervening chlorosis. So if after that what will happen? See, these spot we talked about now, they'll first of all turn brown, and after that a gum-like structure will be there. Okay, gum, we all know Fevicol, you know, sometimes you leave it to be dry, so it's a little sticky but not sticking to it. So that is gum-like structure, and that will appear after the spot have grown. Gum will grow in the spot. So that is due to the deficiency of molybdenum. Also whiptail disease and browning in the cauliflower happens. So you can see this whiptail like structure. Usually cauliflower leaf should be big and like that, but due to the deficiency of molybdenum, they see whip like structure will grow. Okay, whip is your rassi and all. So that will the structure of cauliflower's leaf will appear like to be of whiptail. Okay, now talking about the manganese. So manganese deficiency, intervenal yellowing. Again, between two veins, what will happen? Yellow structure will happen, not tending toward the whiteness. So in case we have read here what happened, they from yellow to they turn to white, but in this case they will remain yellow. Okay, in young leaf, then veins will remain green. Okay, so first of all, whole your leaf, what will happen? They will become yellow, and the veins in the leaf. So this is your leaf. This whole leaf will be green, but the veins. Sorry, this whole leaf will be yellow, but the veins will become green. That happened due to manganese. Again, if you don't understand, leaf is there. This leaf will become yellow itself, but the veins, these will become green or remain green. So you can easily identify the manganese deficiency. Then important thing that we should remember is March disease in pea. As you can see, these structure grow in the pea, and that is called marsh disease of pea. Very important for your NABARD examination. Axis, the older leaf will show brown spots surrounded by the chlorotic zone and the circle. So what will happen if excess of manganese is there? In the older leaf, what will happen? Brown spot will be there and circular kind of drying will be there. Okay, so that was the plant nutrient deficiency. Moving to the last two, zinc is there. So deficiency appear in the, first of all, what will happen? Appearance of the plant itself change. See, suppose when we draw plant, what we do? We grow like this. But in this case, what will happen? The plant will look more bushy like structure. Okay, some kind of wild bush like structure will grow. So your plant deficiency, if zinc is not present, this plant will look like a bushy structure. But what is important for your NABARD examination? White bud of the maize will appear. So this is called, this is caused due to the zinc deficiency. Then the other disorder, that are your Khera disease of rice, little leaf of cotton and apple, molted leaf of citrus, and rosette formation. See why I said this is important, and I'm not focusing on these, because these disease can be caused due to other reasons too. Okay, Khera disease will be caused due to other reason. Little leaves can be turned into other reason. Molted leaf of the citrus can be due to the other reason, and zinc can also be a factor. But again, this one is very important for your NABARD examination. Okay, now moving to the nickel. So significant nickel deficiency will display symptoms of old leaf in the old leaf. So nickel की जो symptom है, that will appear not on your young leaf as we seen in the case of manganese, but these will appear in the older leaves. Okay, that the leaves that are about to die. Mostly whole leaf become chlorosis and necrotic tip. You can see पूरी leaf में chlorosis हो जाएगा, but tip will die off. So there are two conditions when we are talking about chlorosis. We are only saying that the plant or the spot or the leaf had turned yellow, but we are saying necrosis. It means there is no chance that it will come back. It means it's dead. Okay, so I think that is all clear. Now it is time to attempt our PYQ again. So first of all, NABARD Grade A 2017 exam phase 1, now you will be able to answer it. Okay, so the question was again internal necrosis in mango and hen and chicken disorder in grape is due to the deficiency of which of the following nutrient? Your options were potassium, chlorine, boron, sulfur and calcium. So do let me know in the chat who have who just remember this chicken and hen that we have talked about. I think chicken and hen we know, hens are the bigger bird, chicken are the smaller bird. So some of the fruits were bigger, some of the fruits were smaller. So in what case it happens? Okay, Sekar has tried to attempted to give the answer. Okay, Rathod has given the answer. Nilesh has given the answer. Okay, so I think it is clear to everybody, and everybody seems to memorize it too. Very good. The correct answer will be, of course, your boron. Okay, again, very important for your NABARD examination. Anonymous, very good. So now let's move to the next question that was from this particular topic that appeared in the NABARD examination. So the question was, which of the following are the major nutrient? So okay, answer is already there, but your options were nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, all of the above or none of the above. Okay, don't worry, it appeared in grade A NABARD examination 2018 phase 1. And another important thing that you will notice that in case of NABARD next year in NABARD 2019 grade A phase 1, similar kind of question. Okay, this is repeated. So there was similar kind of question, but the only difference was instead of major there was primary nutrient, I guess. Okay, or macronutrient was there. So in 2019 there was a question that which of the following are the macronutrient, and the options were similar. N, P, K, all of the above or none of the above. So who will try to attempt the answer? So the question again I will repeat. Which of the following are, in case instead of major there was macro. Okay, macronutrient that you will have to tell. Your options are N, P, K, none of the above or all of the above. So this question I need answer in the comment section. Do let me know. So okay. No, Ajay, the next question, try to attempt. The question is, which of the following is or are macronutrient? Let me clear it. So the question is, now the question is, which are, you'll have to tell which are the macronutrient here. Your options are NPK, none of the above, or all of the above. So Pushpendra has given the answer, Rathod has given the answer, Anonymous has given the answer. Okay, so again, all of you are right. Sekar is right. Andim is right. Okay, Pushpender Singh is right. So very good. Answer is again all of the above. See, sometimes in NABARD even the questions are repeated. Okay, Shailendra is right. Not P. Okay, Shailendra, that will be NPK, because all of these are required in quantity more than 1 ppm. So these become your macronutrient. Okay. So now let's move to the next question. Again, this question is repeated. Leave it. So now it is time for the practice question that you will have to answer in the comment section. I'll answer the question tomorrow. Okay, the question is, marsh disease in pea is due to the deficiency of which of the following nutrient? Your options are boron, chlorine, calcium, sulfur, manganese. See, this question falls in the same line that we see have in the chicken, hen and chicken disease. So this is the question. Again, you will have to see where or which nutrient cause marsh disease in which plant, that is in pea. So if you don't know the answer, go back, revise this video. This again guys, this video is something that you need to revise more than you need to understand it. Okay. Okay, I will not tell the answer right now. I'll tell the answer tomorrow, but do let me know in the comments. Okay, I'll mention the comments. So thank you so much. I hope everything is clear. If you have any doubt, I'll just wait for a few minutes. Do let me know. Okay, any kind of doubt you have? Don't mention it in chat. Answer the question in the comment section. Okay, go below the video and go let me know the answer. Okay, seems like everything is clear to everyone. If anybody has any doubt, do let me know. Okay, so NABARD is there. So guys, prepare well for your examination. Do revise it again and again. Okay, seems like everything is clear. Thank you so much for attending. Pleasure is all mine. See you tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. And if you have any query, do let me know. You can contact to us at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can visit our website also, as you can see here. Okay, okay, fisheries will be there. Okay, I'll show the timetable again. So as you can see, okay, this is your timetable. See, there we have added fisheries too. So when we discuss about the classification of fisheries, we will understand what is, thank you Pushpendra, what is important in the fisheries, and we will also take a look at the PYQ, what kind of question are there. Then we will discuss fisheries, and in the end of the video again you will be able to give the answer. Okay, you will have all the queries. Okay, videos will be there. Okay, wait for 24 hours. Videos will be there in the PDF form in the Telegram. But as always, when we discuss, in the live session, we also add some knowledge and we also discuss what is important. So if you are not trying to make notes and you want to revise it, do go for the PDF. But if you want to revise and want to know what is important, even in the topic we are discussing, always check it. Okay, ESI class, ESI class once I'll know, I'll let you know. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. I think everything is clear and nobody has any doubt now. So let's end our session for today. We will meet tomorrow. Okay, have a good day now.